Hey guys, okay, so I have a really exciting tutorial. I'm actually on my way to the Beyonce Jay-Z on the Run tour. Really exciting. So I'm going with my girls and my boo, and we're going to the concert. And you know how it is, like as a makeup person, you always want to do festive makeup for the celebration. So I basically Googled Beyonce on the Run tour makeup, and I found a really helpful article from her makeup artist, Sir John B, and I am in love with him. Like, I met him at IMATS New York, and I totally had a fangasm. It was crazy. So he gave a really in-depth article about how he did her makeup, how he made sure it stayed put, how to make it look good on stage and stuff like that. So I was really inspired by that article. I did modify it a little bit according to me because all of the makeup was so that way it would look good from far away, but you know, I just wanted to kind of copy the look. So pretty much it's a smoky gold taupey eye, cinnamon lips, and like bronze skin with like a peachy orangey blush. So I'm going to just kind of use what I had lying around. You can use whatever you have, and we're going to get like this really fun smoky eye, and I'm just going to talk you guys through it. So let's get started. Okay, just to kind of, you know, to make a quick tutorial. My hair looks crazy, I need to fix it. I am wearing Cover FX BB Gel in Golden Deep, so I have this all over. And I kind of have it as just like a really light base because it's really hot in Georgia, and I'm taking public transportation to get to the concert, so I don't want to like wear anything too heavy on my skin. So that's on my skin. I primed with Tarte Clean Slate Flawless Primer. And let's just go ahead and start with the eyes. So, Sir John recommended that, you know, you do your eyes first because it's a, you know, it's kind of like a smoky eye and there's a lot going on. So what I'm going to do is prime first. I'm just going to use my NYX concealer. You can use a primer, I just don't have one handy. So I'm going to prime. I would recommend a real eyeshadow base if you have oily lids or if, you know, you have issues with heat. So and then I'm going to take this Milani Shadow Eyes 12-Hour Wear Brown Deluxe Pencil. Now I like this because 12-hour wear, so it's kind of like an eyeshadow base on its own. So what he said, the first thing he did is he took a coffee colored pencil and he used it as a base for the eyes. And he created the shape that he wanted, which was like a feline kind of shape. So he always wants like a cat eye. So this is just a base so it can be messy. And then I'm going to blend it out. So I'm just going to take my Sedona Lace synthetic blender. I'm just going to blend everything out. Like the edges, and just make sure it's even. Now you have a soft edge, which will be good for blending later on. Okay, so he used some matte shadows because he wanted the shimmer only where he specifically wanted to put it. But I'm going to improvise. I'm going to use Nude palette from the Balm. It's a really great neutral palette, and it has a lot of shades that I want. So the first thing he did is he used like a mix of taupe and brown shades. So I'm going to take Sultry and my Universal Blender brush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to help blend out the crease. That's what I'm going to do first. And that's just to kind of clean up that edge and make it soft. And we're also setting that brown base. Okay. Then I'm going to take a taupe. So I'm going to use, this is called Schizo. It's right here. It's a shimmery taupe. If you use a matte taupe, but I'm using a shimmery one. And I'm placing that on the lid underneath the crease. And it's okay if you skip the edges because we're going to do a darker inner and outer portion of the lid. Let's take a mixture of Sultry and Sleek, so it's like a light brown and a dark brown, and I'm taking a mixture of both because I don't want it too dark, because he said that you don't have to have a really dark like eyeshadow to do a smoky eye. So I'm going to smoke out the inner and outer corners using those matte shadows, and that's good to use matte for this because you want to use a matte when you're contouring the eye to really get some depth and dimension. So I'm using my pointed crease brush by Sedona Lace. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the eyebrows really quick because I like to do the brows so that way I can conceal and use the concealer under the brows as a highlight. First I'm going to take the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Ebony. This is actually a little too dark for me, but I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to underline my brows just to define them. And then lightly I'm going to do the top, but not as harsh. Because Beyonce doesn't have a crazy defined brow. She has a little bit more of a natural brow. But I need a little bit of neatness to my brow, so I'm not going to go quite as natural as hers. Okay, now I'm going to do a powder. And I'm going to use the Brow Bar from Whitening Lightning, which everybody seems to use. Using a Sedona laced EB23 angle brush. I'm just going to use this brown, which is a nice, really universal color for everybody. And I'm going to use that to fill it in. Now we're going to set it with a brow gel. I'm using a really old Anastasia brow gel. This is like so old, but I like it because it's kind of like this caramel color, so it will lighten up the brows to better match my hair color, because I have like a lot of light streaks in my hair. My base is like a brown now instead of ebony, which is the color of that first pencil I used. So this is going to really set the brow so it won't go anywhere, but it's also lightening at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and conceal the brows. I'm going to use the Brow Duality from Anastasia, and I'm going to use the matte side, which is kind of like a nude kind of flesh tone. So I'm going to underline the brow just to kind of highlight, and then I'm going to take, this is a Cover FX concealer brush. I'm just going to blend it out and blend it down, and this is going to serve as my highlight brow bone shade. So I'm just kind of bringing it down. This will also clean up any strays, which I definitely have. And then for my brow bone shade, I'm going to take this Bourjois eyeshadow. It's like a nude kind of color. It's beige number 56, and I'm going to use it to set. Now Sir John made an emphasis that he pretty much did everything in cream on Beyonce and then set with powder, and that's how he got her makeup to stay even when she was wearing like the fishnet like face mask and all the heat and all that. Okay, so now I'm just going to add this step because I want to, but I'm going to take a bronzer and I'm going to apply a little bit above my crease transition, just kind of warming up the look and helping to blend the edges. And I always like to meet the crease with where I have the highlight, so it's not like a big old gap. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and be OCD and darken out the outer portion of my eye to kind of get that feline shape, and the inner portion too, with my pointed crease brush. And then he said he used an antique gold pigment to give shimmer to her lid as well as her tear duct. So I don't have that, but I'm going to improvise. So I'm going to use the Brow Duality again. It has a gold side. So I'm going to use that and the tear duct. Put a little bit more here because I scratched it off when I was scratching my eyeball. And then let's go ahead and blend that out just so we don't get any harsh line. It's going to be kind of like a base. Okay, and then we're going to take this really old Urban Decay glitter liner in Midnight Cowboy. I love this. I've been using it for way too long. So now I'm going to do is literally use it as a glitter. But what I like to do, this is an old trick of mine, is take it and make little dots. So you get the effect of a glitter slash pigment, but it's not messy and it won't fall down like loose glitters. This definitely adds a lot of shine to the eye. Just try to keep your lid open so that way it dries okay. And then we'll put some on the tear duct. So the challenge here is that we want to keep that darkness on that inner pocket. So I'm going to take a smaller brush and then go back in and just kind of get this little gap right here and darken it out. This is like the gap between the tear duct highlight and the lid. And that way we kind of still keep the deep eye look. And if you need to use little brushes like this, go ahead, because it's definitely some detailed work. Okay, now let's go ahead and line. You definitely use a waterproof gel liner because you want it to last. So I'm going to use L'Oreal Infallible Blackest Black Gel Liner and this tiny little brush from Delium Tools. He said the way he always gets a perfect cat eye is he kind of draws the point out first where he wants to go, and then he fills the rest in. So that way he always knows like the perfect ending point to the wing. And then we're going to do the liner on the bottom. So I'm just going to apply what's left on my waterline. Okay, let's go ahead and apply lashes. I'm going to use, I think these are House of Lashes Tigress lashes. So I'm going to pop these on, apply mascara and all that. So I'm using Lock-It Lash Glue, which I love because it's a black lash glue that really does lock it in. I'm all for intense stay lash glues because my lashes like to lift on the inner and outer corners, like I'm sure y'all's does too. And I always put a little bit on the eyeliner so that way it just really attaches. Then I'm using this new eyelash applicator from Cosmetics, which I love so much better than tweezers. And then I'm going to pop this on. Makes it so much easier because it's got a bigger handle. And then I use this side to just kind of push it up. Okay. Then we're going to use a like a stay proof liner. This is just a dark brown called Damsel from Stila. I'm going to get the top waterline so we kind of give the illusion of thickening our lashes. I'm going to put a little bit more on the waterline too. Let's go ahead and be OCD with our makeup now. Now that you have the lash on, you can kind of see how far you can bring up the eyeshadow and when you need to blend. And then I'm going to apply mascara. I find that this mascara from CoverGirl, it's their Bombshell Volume. It really makes your lashes like blend into your falsies because it's kind of like one of those long wearing mascaras. So first you apply side 1, which is I guess like the volume or whatever, the first step. And then you apply step 2, which is kind of like it seals it in. And this is the step 2. That's what really keeps the lash blended and on. I don't ever do this, but I know that Sir John applied falsies on the top and bottom like individuals, but I have no patience for that. So I'll do the extra step of mascara, even though I usually never do it because my lashes suck. So there's not really a point. Okay, so let's finish the rest of the eyes once we finish the face. Ooh, I got stuff all over my nails. Okay, so what I'm going to do is apply concealer first. I'm going to use this Anastasia 3.0. I'm going to apply it right under here as a concealer slash highlight. Using my synthetic blender from Sedona Lace. And this is why I finished the bottom lash line of the eyes, because I don't want to lose anything when I put concealer on. So I'm just going to kind of reapply a little bit. So we're going to highlight the bridge of our nose. This is like my new foundation method. I just use a little bit of concealer and the rest is powder. So this is the only place I'm applying a cream because I don't want to be really heavily foundationed up when I go into the streets of Atlanta. Okay, so now I'm going to use a Cover FX translucent powder. So this is going to set wherever I put that concealer slash highlight. And it's lighter, which I like because it'll keep me nice and bright. And I'll also set it. I use my Luxe Essentials cheek brush, which is like the perfect brush for setting under eye concealer and doing a highlight. And then I'm going to apply a face foundation, like a powder foundation. So this is MSF Natural from MAC in medium dark. And this is starting to kind of blend out the highlight, but I'm really using it for is foundation. So this is powder foundation, but instead of using it to set, you know, like you might usually do, I'm using it alone as foundation. You can even wet the brush if you want to get a little bit more coverage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use a little contour. I should have done this right before that, but I forgot. This is the Copper Beach Pro Sculpting Cream from MAC. I kind of rediscovered this recently and I really love it because it makes a really good contour. I don't know why I never used it before. I bought the whole collection and I don't ever use them. So this is like a perfect nose contour because it's like not too warm, because I hate when the nose contour lines are too red. It just doesn't look natural. Okay, and then we'll put this everywhere else you contour. And then I'm going to set that with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour powders, which I put in the Z palette. This is the darkest one, the darkest powder from that palette, from the contour kit. And then I'm going to take my foundation brush with the leftover powder and kind of just blend everything in. Okay, now I'm going to do a cheek color. Now, Sir John used like a rusty peach, he said. So I'm going to use this City Color Cosmetics Copper Bronzing Sunlight Bronzer. And I'm going to use this on my cheeks a little bit more as a base for my blush. And he didn't put a shimmer blush. He used like a peach, but he only put the shimmer like underneath it because he wanted it to reflect appropriately on stage, FYI. But I'm putting a shimmer. So on top of that, I'm going to use Rose D'Oro Baked Blush from Milani. And he even put the blush like below her chin, on her temple, just to kind of give her a glow from far away. So let's go ahead now and take the powder foundation brush again and blend everything out. Alright, so we're almost done. Let's go ahead and finish that lower lash line. So I'm going to take the dark brown first and kind of get the base. I have some mascara down there smudged. But I'm getting the base of the lashes first, where I want it to be the darkest. Then we're going to take the warm brown, the lighter brown underneath it to kind of blend it out. I'll take this bronzer and apply a little bit of that too, just to kind of warm up under here. Now let's just be OCD and put a little more glitter on. He said this, the way you place the shimmer right on the lid and on the tear duct is really good for a flat eye, like a monolid, because it really gives kind of dimension. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish with the lips. So I know for a fact that Beyonce never wears sticky lip gloss when she does her concerts. Reason being is because she doesn't want her hair sticking to it. So they usually do a lipstick that has a shimmer on it. So he used a cinnamon colored lipstick, which I'm going to use Revlon's Brown Sugar because it's kind of like a cinnamon color, like that. So first I'm going to line with Nutmeg from MAC. No, this is NYX. Nutmeg from NYX. And I just give my lips some definition. And then this is, like I said, Brown Sugar Revlon Lip Butter. So I have here City Color All Set Setting Spray with Silica from City Color Cosmetics. And I want to really set everything because I'm going to be sweating in that Atlanta heat, as well as I want this to last throughout the night. And it kind of melts all the makeup together when you do a setting spray, in my opinion. So this is the final look, my Beyonce Inspired taupey, glittery, smoky eyes, and cinnamon lips. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so excited about the concert. A little sick. Hopefully I'll get over this cough, but it's totally worth it to go see Beyonce and Jay-Z. So I will have pictures and all that fun stuff on my blog, makeupbyronrun.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, have a great night. Ciao, bellas.